Hello and welcome to a pre-Christmas short video from Medway. Now, if you remember in my previous video, I did say for the new subscribers we were just going to have a little tour around the layout, see where we are and what the plans are for 2026. So that's coming up shortly, but it also obviously gives me a good opportunity to say Happy Christmas and a safe and happy new year to everybody. A big thank you to the subscribers who have continued to stay with us, and that is much appreciated. And also the new people, you're very more than welcome. 25 has been quite a good year. Perhaps I didn't move on with the speed I had hoped, but we've got the platform area, the station area now, so we can run trains through, and there's just the detailing to finish off. We're moving ahead with the industrial area, getting those JS models, kits built, and they're a delight to build. Might give myself a little break in the new year and move on to detailing the station building and the signal box. So there's new rolling stock to see in next year's video. So all it leaves me to say is have a happy Christmas, a safe, prosperous new year, and of course, happy modelling. Cheers now. We'll start the layout tour with the park. If we go a little closer, these parade of shops are Nick Dow buildings that you can get from his Facebook page. Above that were just some cut out little vaccines. I think they may have been Sankey Scenics, but just to try and give a little bit of depth. Nick very kindly customised the names of the shops. Just on this one, and Kev's Trains is a model shop. We've got a few trees. There's just a couple of figures. These lights do work. A few more figures. There's the War Memorial, and if I'm not mistaken, there's somebody proposing. And we've got a few more figures there. So what do we do in this area? Just a little bit of tidying up. The pavement area there needs to be painted, or maybe put some extra paving down. And then we move over to the new area, or newish area, and that's a dog walking area. We've got a fountain, which I'll put some realistic water in. There's a picnic bench, and I've got some figures to go in there. And then if we just move a little further over, we've got the children's play area. And you've got the slides. And if we move in a little bit closer, you'll see there's a little boy on the swing. And again, we'll just have a few more figures, and I'll do a little bit more work on that, but that's mostly done. And then if we look along, those rather impressive warehouses, stroke industrial buildings. It's the Worthington Pump Company, again all Nick Dow. They're quite sturdily built, around about 3 or 4 mil deep. And what I do is I always give them a coat of, if I can see it, there we go, excuse me, the Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear, and that protects it from the, well, it's not damp, but the fluctuation of temperature. And if we look down, we'll see the sort of eating area. There's an ice cream van, a burger van and a coffee bar. And then we'll look down to the station, which we'll have a closer look. Okay, we move over to the station area. Now, you'd have seen this more closely in previous videos, so we'll just scoot along there. Let's pop that there. There we go. So that's the bus stop area, and I've used one of the Bunter's yard billboard for a bit of advertising. Oh dear, somebody's just fallen over. We've got the Medway running in boards, and if we look down there, bit of work to be done next on the station building. That was done by Bunter's Yards, and I'm very pleased with it. And if we move across, we have some more Nickdale industrial buildings. And if we look there, I. Harding Engineering. Now, Ivor Harding was Mel's dad, who sadly passed away a couple of years ago, but we've got a little memory of him there. And we move across to the big JS Models building. No, it's not falling over. I've just got to pop the back scene into place. And then we'll probably put some of these little DMG lighting modules in there, just to bring that to life. If we look along here, we've got the mobile telephone mast, and the substation from 12A models. I'm pleased with that. Bunter's Yard signal box, which will have an interior put in. And if we go over, we've got the little, let's get closer, little park area. That's the residence park for that block of apartments. Okay, so that's the station area. Okay, now next is what we would call the industrial area, and do excuse the mess because it is a little bit of a dumping ground. But effectively, this was the old Peninsula Brewery buildings, which is now been changed into a sort of heritage stroke museum, working museum. So along here where you had the old sidings, we've got a JS Models. Well, that's the factory back. I'm at the moment building the front, which has got the platform, but I just wanted to see how that sat. Then we have, I moved that because I just had that for clearance. If we move down, we've got the boiler house and the chimney. We've got a couple of more sidings. That's a route in off the main line. That's the car park area. I say excuse the mess. And again here will be part of it, and I've got a large back scene to go across the back. But as I say, that's a temporary dumping ground, but I hope that gives you an idea of what the factory area looks like. Okay, if we look to what is effectively the east end of the layout, we have Nickdale's car park, which then looks after the Metcalfe block of flats, which again is fallen to the, and again I emphasise nothing wrong with the Metcalfe kits, but they don't suffer well in my garage, the fluctuation of temperature, so they do blow a bit. Will I change that? I don't know. Next door, this is all Nickdale kits, Odeon Cinema, and the Travelodge with some shops below, and we move across and across, and let's say these are all Nick Dow buildings, and very good too. I'm delighted with them. We move over to here, and again a bit of a dumping ground, but if I move in, that was done by Paul from Gelgorm Hall, is a scale replica of the Bowls Club, Peninsula Bowls Club, which I'm a member of. Here will be the bowling green. We'll probably look to change the hedging there. Not too pleased with that. And the walling will all be pulled out and more walling pulled in. And if we just move the bit more rubbish over, we have the skate park. Again, a fallen figure. We have, I'm moving a bit of wire there. And again, this just needs to be tot up. But there's a Faulkner just given a display. There's another children's play area and a little park. Let's put that back up. But this again will all be tidied up, and that's work in progress. That's fallen down. This is a cafe at the moment, and I have got an idea of possibly changing that, because that's Metcalfe. That seems to have held up well. So, but I'm in two minds. But I would rather have a resin model or an MDF. I've got something planned from here, so watch that space. If we move over to there, that's the Audi Gauge Master kit, but it's starting to sort of yellow over, so a repaint, and it possibly might be morphing into a Tesco's. So again, work to be done on that area, and it's just tidying it up. And the master's just fallen over. The little office space over there, that was from a scale model scenery texture sheets, and I just sort of made that up. Could do with improving, but it's been able to reach over that far. We've got a little burger area there and the smoking area. Again, somebody perhaps may have had a dodgy burger and seems to have fallen over, as has the mast. We move over to the back of the southern area. We have some Metcalfe houses, so let's take a closer look. Okay, so it's Metcalfe houses. Again, they're okay, but they do suffer a bit from the conditions. Mistake made, didn't think about the lighting, so possibly would replace those. Same with the shops. These were the first ones built, and I suppose naivety was really with them. You know, one thing I've learned is think ahead of what you want to do with the lighting. I'm quite pleased how that little area come out. It sort of looks like it flows through. Some more Metcalfe buildings. Here there's that nasty gap. The Duke of York, where things do get a bit fruity, and there's been a bit of fisticuffs there, and the police are involved, and a young couple seems to have fallen flat on their faces. So that's the side there, and we move along, and we have got the church, which is a scaled out one, I think, and I've put lighting in it. The lynch gate is a wooden lynch gate. I have got another one, a resin one, so we'll probably go for that. So that, if we pan around, it's a high street side. Now if we move here, we've got the Metcalfe petrol station. I still need to do work, maybe to build a canopy if I don't find a replacement building. We have the car wash. We've got Medway Fire Station, which I'm quite pleased with. And we'll have lighting, but I'm on the lookout for either an MDF or resin building. Medway Ambulance Station. And again, that has got some lighting in. And if we look over the back, we've got the ambulance motorcyclists, somebody having a rest, and the vehicle being refueled. Now if we move over to here, we've got Rochester Tyre Service, and just there, looks like the owner of the Mini has just been told how much another set of tyres is going to cost, and his mate has collapsed too. So if we move back and try and get it into focus, there we go. The sign has just fallen down for there, but as you can see, quite a lot of work still to be done as we move around, and that gets you an idea of the car park to the new museum entry. We've got the entrance in, and where all this rubbish is will be the museum. Okay, so that is a tour of the layout.